pop up that this is being recorded. So today, the Keystone Stars Quality Coaches will be presenting on the PD Registry. Again, my name is Maggie Johnson. We also have with us Teresa Paludi, who's our designator and technical assistance and professional development coordinator. Lauren Detweiler, who is our grant specialist and also a quality coach. Andrea Hinderleader, quality coach. Dana Slipion, quality coach. Rachel Nickel, quality coach. And Sarah Bond, quality coach. And Sarah is going to kick us off to talk about the policy.
Hi guys, how are you? I'm going to be talking about the privacy policy on the PD registry. Basically, I just wanted to go over this so that people feel a little more comfortable with using the site and understand how they treat personal information and that they do take privacy very seriously. So one of the reasons on why they do have a privacy policy and why they ask for your information is so that they can tell you apart, so that they can verify your employment and your education. They can give PQAS credits, and then such other administration purposes such as reports or research or audits and things like that. Now, keep in mind, you do not have to give them your personal information, but that is what they need to properly track PQAS trainings. And I'm sure everybody knows that you also need this for your Keystone Stars designations when you have trainings in there. Next slide. Okay, so who they can share the information with. They will only share information with agencies or people on an as-needed basis, and it has to be either allowed or required by law. These are people such as people part of the state, the county, the local or federal employees, Keystone Stars personnel such as us and others, your individual's employer, and then anybody if they're authorized by law to receive the information. Next slide. Okay, so what are your rights regarding the information on the PD registry? You may see and copy any of the private information that they have about you. You can give permission to others to be able to copy and see this information also. If the information is wrong or you're questioning it, you can correct this by addressing your concerns in an email to the registry at registry@pakeys.org. And you can also limit or restrict the use of your information or what information they disclose as long as it's feasible and reasonable. You can get a record of the people that might have had your information. But just keep in mind that this was started on February 1st, 2018, because that's when this all became about. Next slide, please. Okay, so the PD registry's responsibilities, they must protect the privacy of your private information according to the terms of this notice. They may not use this information for reasons other than what are listed in this privacy policy that I just went over. They cannot share any of this information with anybody unless they have your special permission to release that information. And they are required to follow the terms of this notice, but if their privacy policy changes in the future, then they will definitely let you know. And the information that I'm talking about is like when you sign into the PD registry, such as like your address or your, where you work or what your education is. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about your private info on the PD registry. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so next I'm going to introduce Lauren Detweiler, and she's going to talk about completing the PD registry profile and applying for the career pathway.
Thank you, Sarah, and good afternoon, everyone. So as she stated, I'm going to be going over how to apply for your career pathway on the PD registry. But first, I do like to make the distinction between the difference of creating a PD registry profile versus completing a PD registry profile. So when you create a PD registry profile, what you're doing is you're basically just creating a login for the system. Completing your profile is taking that a step further, and that's making sure that all of your personal and educational information is up to date. It's making sure your employment information has been entered. That also includes uploading your degrees and your transcripts and submitting everything then to be reviewed by the PA Keys verifiers. The reason that is important to understand is because all staff at STAR 2, 3, and 4 programs are required to have a completed profile that's submitted to the PA Keys in order to maintain or in order to receive a STAR 2, 3, or 4 designation. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to briefly share my screen, and I'm going to give you an overview of the layout of the registry, and then I have a video to share as well. So. All right, can everybody see that? Yeah, okay, thank you. So you'll see here when you log into the registry, the first thing that shows up is my personal profile page. In the center of the page is this blue box with important announcements from the PA Keys. This is important because oftentimes they have a date on here for when they're reviewing PD registry profiles for completion. So you'll see right now they're receiving and processing materials that were submitted as of Wednesday, June 23rd. So they are a little bit behind, which is why it's important to get this stuff in sooner rather than later. Underneath the announcement box, you'll see this toolbar here, which will help you navigate to different sections of the profile, such as your personal information, education information, employment, and so forth. We'll touch on these different areas briefly throughout the rest of the presentation. Then at the top right here, you'll see your name. If you click on your name, you'll have a drop-down menu. Now mine looks a little bit different because I have different options available as a quality coach. But I like to point this out because here's where you'll be able to change your account settings. Also, if you're a director or an administrator of a program, this is where you're going to link your account to your program's profile. And you'll do that by clicking Organization Profile here. Teresa's going to go over that a little bit more in depth later in the presentation. If you've already done that, what we'll show here is a purple line with your program's name in it. So that's how you access that. And then last but not least, on the left here, there's another kind of hidden toolbar that pops up. I like to point this one out because it has your professional development plan in it. This is also where you can go to search for and register for different training events through the PA Keys. At the bottom, they have an option for you to click on tip sheets that they've created. These are really nice because they include screenshots of everything we're going over today and step-by-step instructions. And then they'll also include, if you scroll up, there's a video library. This video library also includes videos on what we're doing today, and I'm going to share with you some of them. There's a quicker way to also get to this video library. If you go to the pakey.com, in this big red box here where they announce the new QRS system, you can just click where it says click here, and you can access all the same videos. So for today, I am going to play this quick video on how to apply for the career pathway. And just give me 1 second to get this set up. Can everybody hear that? Okay.
This is how to apply for the career pathway in the PD registry. Once you are logged in, you can scroll down and choose Complete My Profile Career Pathway. Then select Apply/Renew. From here, you will see an overview of the sections we are going to cover, and we can choose Start. The first section is just your personal information. Review this section to be sure that no changes need to be made, and then choose Save and Continue. The next section is your Education tab. From here, we will add all of our education. If your highest level of education is high school, you will need to upload a high school diploma. We can do that by choosing Edit. Check that you have a high school diploma or GED, the graduation year. Select a file type and select the file. And then choose Save and Close. You will see the folder next to the high school is blue, and that means that we uploaded supporting documentation. If you have education that is higher than a high school diploma, you do not need to add the high school diploma. Now we'll add higher education. We can choose Add New, and we'll choose our bachelor's degree, our graduation date, we'll search for the institution, our major, our minor if we have one, and our file type. Please note, for higher education, we will need the transcripts, including the name of the institution, your name, and the graduation date. And the file type. And then choose Save and Close. Once we have all of our education as well as supporting documentation uploaded, we can choose Save and Continue. Review that your employment is current and correct, and Save and Continue. The next section will be the Training tab. From here, you can see any training that you are currently registered for or training that you have completed in the past. You can choose to upload training that you have taken outside of the PD registry, excluding Better Kid Care training, by choosing Individual Request Approval. Once you have reviewed this section, save and continue. You can add any professional memberships you may have. For Director Credential Professional Contributions, this is only for applicants of the Director Credential. And you can save and continue. From here, we can review everything that we've completed. You can see we uploaded a file for high school, as well as our bachelor's degree, our employment information, and our trainings, and save and continue. Please read the privacy practices. Agree, and save and continue. Please be sure to read the instructions on the final page and submit application. For the career pathway, please allow up to 90 days for your application to be processed.
All right. Maggie, if you want to continue sharing the PowerPoint, I have 2 more slides. Thank you. So I do want to make 2 quick notes based off of what was just discussed throughout the video. Regarding transcripts, you do not have to upload official transcripts. They can be unofficial, as long as whatever you upload includes the student's name, the school's name, the major that the student studied, the date that the degree was conferred, and then also the credits earned or the grades. They don't necessarily care if you got an A or a C in a class. They just want to see that you actually got the credits for the class taken. And then next slide. And then real quick, a note about foreign degrees. So if you do have a degree from a foreign university, you have to have that degree translated and approved by an approved organization, such as WES. when you get that evaluation done, it should show the US equivalent of the degree and also include a course by course evaluation showing the college hours or credit hours and the student's cumulative GPA. The reason, so you have to have that done regardless if the transcripts are in English or not. If it's a foreign degree, it has to be translated. And the reason being is we need to make sure that, like, if you took an intro to education course in in Spain or England or something like that, and you come here, we need to make sure that that intro to education class you took would be the same as the same class here. So that's why that's important. Now that can get kind of pricey. The last I checked, it was about $250 to have that done. So what the PA Keys has done is they've started a new program. So anybody who gets their degree evaluation completed or processed after July 2019, they can apply to get a reimbursement through the PA Keys. You'll have to have proof that the degree was translated. You'll also have to have your career pathway placement. But once you have those items, you can submit them to the PA Keys and you can get up to $150 reimbursed. Next slide. So now I'm going to pause here. We can kind of monitor the chat, and if anybody has any questions, they can also unmute themselves and ask away. Let's see.
Lauren, there are some in the chat.
Okay, I'm looking. Go ahead.
Is uploading just the diploma enough, or do we have to select the transcript option and upload those?
I would highly recommend uploading transcripts as well, especially if your degree is not in early childhood, because if, let's say you have a degree in education, then if you upload your transcripts, you might be able to qualify for a higher career pathway level depending on the courses you've completed. So I would absolutely recommend uploading your transcripts.
And then there's a question regarding the director's credential documents. The certificate received is through the PA Keys, not the university, but the transcript I was issued also does not have the university name on the page, but does have name, classes, but not a major since it was only 3 classes. This is holding me back from completing my career pathway.
It shouldn't. If you're going to upload your director's credential to the PAD registry, they'll be able to see that credential and then place you at an appropriate level. If for whatever reason you apply and maybe your level comes back, not as high as you would like, there is a process to appeal that Andrea is going to go over in a moment. What is the date? Sarah asked what the date for the degree translation reimbursement is. I don't know if I'm quite sure what you're asking, but Rachel might have just answered it for you. You can pretty much any degree that was translated after July 2019, you could submit. Christy asked, it came back as incomplete, so do I appeal because it was listed as incomplete based on the transcript? Yeah, that sounds like it's probably an appeal, Christy. I would reach out to your quality coach and they would be able to help you through that. Any other questions?
I'm not sure if this was asked, but I do see it in the chat. So if people uploaded information in general pathway, will it automatically transfer to career pathway?
In general pathway? I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, it said if people uploaded information in general pathway, will it automatically transfer to career pathway? What I'm assuming is if they've uploaded their credentials but did not actually go through the application to apply for the career pathway. So
Okay.
You do actually have to go through the process of applying for the career pathway.
Absolutely, that's correct. So if you uploaded your transcripts, that's great. You have a great first step done. You just have to follow the steps in the video and make sure that you hit submit at the end and that you get that confirmation screen that says that your profile was submitted.
So Fern just asked this question. She says she knows it's going to be hard to answer. It says that she has a prospective teacher that she wants to hire. She has an LEd degree. What level might she expect for the career pathways? That's really hard for us to answer at this point because we no longer do the career lattice to place people. I would have your potential hire complete their PD registry and see if they can get the career pathways. Or you you have the person's transcripts, we might be able to send it up to get a generic review, but it's really hard for us to level them right now.
All right. So we'll continue from here. Thanks everyone for your questions and to my coworkers for helping answer. I'm going to pass it along to Andrea. She's going to go over the career pathway levels and also how to appeal your career pathway level. If there are any more questions, feel free to keep typing them in the chat. We'll continue to monitor. And go ahead, Andrea.
Okay, so looking at this screen here, you'll notice that with the career pathway levels, each role that a staff person in the center can hold is related to their career pathway level. So we're going to go over these as we go through this, but I just wanted you to see the different levels, and then you can see underneath the different roles that each person in the program could have. Next slide, Maggie. Here you can see the 10 different career pathway levels based on the education that the staff members have. Entry level being in the upper left-hand corner, and it goes from top to bottom, top to bottom, top to bottom. So it goes from entry level all the way up to level E. And we're going to go over the different education needed for each one of these levels. Okay, there we go. So the entry level, obviously these are going to be people that are new to the ECE field and may not have any experience at all. So they're not meeting the rising level A. So the next level they could potentially meet is the rising level A, which means that they're enrolled in CDA coursework, a school age credential, or an ECE program, and they have completed 6 ECE credits. A level A, these are typically staff members that have completed their CDA, and you can see the roles there are support staff, teaching staff with support in age 0 to 5 settings, or anyone in out of school time care. So a level A, they hold a current CDA certificate from the Council for Professional Recognition, current school age credential, or they've earned 9 early childhood education credits. The next level is a level A plus. In order to obtain this level, you need to meet all of the requirements for a level A. So if you hold a CDA and you've completed 12 or more ECE credits towards an associate's degree in early childhood education and made progress within the last year, or you meet level A and have completed a non-regionally accredited early childhood specific associate of specialized business or an associate of specialized technology. Another way to meet level A plus is to meet level A and currently have either a director credential, an infant toddler mental health endorsement, infant toddler credential, or an apprenticeship completion certificate. Okay, a level B. For these folks, their roles could be a teaching staff in 0 to 5 setting, including Head Start and child care programs. They could be a support person in a K to 3 and early intervention setting, or they could be a director. In order to meet a level B, they need to have a regionally accredited ECE focused AST or an ASB. Those are like the career programs. An associate's degree in early childhood education, an associate's degree or a bachelor's degree in a related field with 18 ECE credits. So this is where it's important to not only upload your degree, but when you upload your transcripts, they look through your transcripts to see if you have 18 credits worth of early childhood credits within that degree. So Fern, this is where this would be helpful for you to upload, have your staff person upload so that they can have their transcript looked at. Another way for a level B is to have an associate's or a bachelor's degree in an unrelated field with 30 ECE credits. Or they can have an elementary ed degree with 12 ECE credits. So a level B plus is just an extension of level B. So as long as they meet the level B and complete 12 or more ECE credits towards a bachelor's degree in elementary or in early childhood education, and again, if they made progress towards the degree in the last year, or they currently meet the level B and have a director credential, infant toddler mental health endorsement, infant toddler credential, current school age credential, or an apprenticeship completion certificate. Level C, these are your lead teachers, your K-3 teacher, teaching staff, 0 to 5 settings. A level C is a bachelor's degree in early childhood education, a bachelor's degree related field with 30 ECE credits, elementary education degree with 18 ECE credits, or any field with a pre-K certification, pre-K to 4 certification. And then again, a level C plus is an extension of the level C, so they have to meet all the requirements for the level C and have completed 12 or more ECE credits towards a master's degree in ECE and made progress in the last year. Or they currently have to have, again, the director's credential, infant toddler mental health endorsement, infant toddler credential, current school age credential, or apprenticeship completion certificate. The level D, again, these are lead teachers, directors. This could be a coach, PQAS instructor. So for a level D, this is a master's degree in ECE. Or they can meet the level C and have achieved a master's degree in a related field, a master's degree in elementary education with 18 ECE credits, or a master's degree in any field as long as they have a pre-K to 4 certification. And the last level is a level E. This would be like your master coach or a faculty. They would have a PhD or an education doctorate in ECE related area and a doctorate in a related field and meets level C or level D. Now, if for some reason you get your career pathway back, you can appeal. So some of the reasons that you may appeal are, one, your career pathway level placement is not what you expected based on your experience that you feel you have and your education you have. The second reason would be that the education documentation is not accepted for whatever reason. Let's say you only uploaded your degree and it's only going to put you on like an entry level, and so they want your transcripts, or you upload your transcripts, it doesn't have your name on it, or it doesn't have the college on it, so it's not accepted, so they're going to return and say that you need to, you can appeal for that reason. So next slide. So the career pathway placement appeal form, there's a form which you'll have to fill out. And once the form is complete and you send the form and all the documentation needed to Donna Wennerholt at the PA Keys, once she has your submission, as long as everything is complete, the appeal process will start. If something is incomplete, she will email it back to you, and the date of the resubmission will be used to begin the appeal process. So if you send something in, it's incomplete, and it's been a week and a half till she returns it, and it takes you another week to get her the information, the appeal process will start like those 3 weeks after you originally thought it would have started from the original submission date. Next slide, please. So this is basically what the form looks like. It's fairly simple to fill out. You just put in the date, your name, your PD registry ID, which if you've completed your, you've applied for your, or you completed your profile, you'll have an ID, you put your email. If you need help from the ELRC, we fill out the other section. You can see there, it will have make sure you have your current transcripts, any credentials, certificates, diplomas, and endorsements that have the name of the institution, your name, the date of the degree, and the major. And then that gets submitted along with this form to Donna, and the PA Keys will go ahead and start processing your appeal to see if you should be a higher level or not. Any questions? I see someone's asking, do years of experience count? At this moment in time, as far as I know, no, it's based on the education of the staff. Maggie, do you know if they're considering using ECE time as towards
As of right now, I do not. It's
Okay.
something we could take back to the PA Key.
Mm-hmm.
Also noted a question that why aren't PQAS training hours count for anything on the career pathway? Again, it's pretty much based on credentials, so I would imagine it would be credit-bearing coursework as opposed to professional development hours, but I'm not sure if Andrea, you might have more insight, or Maggie.
Well, I think Dana, on that, I think the idea there too is, so at a star 3 and at a star 4 level, we're going to look at staff qualifications, but then there's also a piece on staff professional development, and that's where the PQAS trainings fall under. So they're going to fall under the yearly, the yearly trainings that we look at for your staff to take under different training topics, if that makes sense.
Yeah, to help meet STAR standards, but not so much for career pathway placement, if that helps.
And Maggie, I think we can email the slides out. We have someone asking about that.
Yep. And Fern also asked if there's a list of early education classes that count. Right now, we do not have access to that list, but we might be able to get it from the key. We will send out an email and follow up with that, Fern.
Any other questions? From Trudy, this may be a silly question. Is this a new version of the PD registry?
There were enhancements made back in 2018, and they've gradually continued to 2019 and 2020 and 2021. But it is always the same web address to sign into the PD registry.
Now, as far as creating your profile and uploading all documentation, this is something that's fairly new within the last year, that they want, that we are going away from the career lattice where the coaches are determining what level the staff is at, and it's now being put on the PD registry, and they are now taking that over. So we're going from the career lattice to the career pathway. So that's what's different.
Yeah, and I think them doing that is going to also help with consistency. So instead of having a bunch of different coaches reviewing everything all across the state, now it's like the same 6 to 10 people, I think, who are verifying everything. So, you know, someone on one side of the state is being evaluated in the same way as someone across the state. I think it just helps with that.
Are there any other questions about the career pathway levels or anything? Okay, if not, we're going to move on. I'm going to introduce, next up is Rachel Nichols. She's going to talk about the self-assessments and the individual professional development plan.
Thank you. Maggie, I need to share my screen. Okay, can everyone see that? Okay, so I'm going to show you how to complete your self-assessments and your individualized professional development plan on the PD registry. These are both required for star 2, 3, and 4. So just keep that in mind when you are going into your PD registry to complete these. For the self-assessment, you are going to log into your profile. It should roughly look like this. I am not in the summary page. I am already in the PD self-assessment tab. What you're going to do is you're going to go down and you're going to, if you're a director, you're going to complete the big ideas framework for directors, go through all of the different questions that they ask you. This is based on your knowledge of the EC field already. Then you're going to go through, press one of them, go down here, answer the questions based on your knowledge. You're going to submit it. After you go through, submit assessment, you're going to do this for every single tab. And then the same thing for practitioners or your teaching staff. They're going to complete the big ideas framework for practitioners. Same idea, your knowledge of the ECE field. You're going to answer all the questions and then press submit. And then we are able to run a report, which Dana's going to go over all the reports a little later. But we are able to run a report to see who has completed one and who has not. And we go based off of the date that's completed. So if it's not within the past year, we would be asking you to complete it again. We just want it updated with the most recent information. And then in order to complete your individualized professional development plan, you're going to go over to this side tab on the left and go down to professional development plan. So this plan is based off of what you want to do or what you're working towards, how to improve the needs that you do for your program. So for this person that's on here, they want to receive their director's credentials. So what you're going to do is you're going to complete 1 to 3 goals on either an education experience that you're working towards or just a training that you're working on or want to do. You're going to go up to this tabs section on the right, press tabs, and then you're going to just create your goal. You can write any description that you want here, the topic, the category, and then what you're going to do in order to complete this. And then you're going to save and add it. And we are looking for 1 to 3 goals, just so that we see that you're working towards something. And then we are also able to pull a report on this to see how often it's updated. And that is it. We also can pull, did I say we have to pull a report? We can also pull a report on this as well. And that is all I have for this. Next will be Teresa. She's going to go over the organizational profile. Let me figure out how to stop sharing. There we go.
Rachel, thank you for the introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. It's nice to see some familiar faces. I've missed seeing you. Maggie, you're going to give me my first little slide, please. Okay. I think you're back one, Mag. Basically, what we're going to do is how to claim an unregistered organization. We have a nice video.
Hi, in this video, we are going to review how to claim your organization profile. To claim your organization profile, please log into the PD Registry. Once logged in, you're going to scroll down on your home page and click on Add Organization Profile. If your organization is unregistered in our system, please click Create Profile to begin your organization profile setup. If your organization is registered, you are able to enter in the organization ID number here and then click on Find Profile. This will allow you to have admin access to the organization profile if the profile has already been claimed. To be able to determine if your organization profile is registered or unregistered in our system, please email us at registry@pakeys.org. To create a profile, click on Create Profile. Now remember, this is only for unregistered organization profiles. You're going to want to confirm your contact information and then answer if this program provides direct care or not. So if you do, click on Yes, and then click Next. Your first question here is asking if you are licensed by the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services. You're going to want to click yes or no. If you click yes, you need to enter in an MPI number, and it has to be in the correct format as shown on your license. For this video, I'm just going to go ahead and answer no to the rest of the questions, but here you see some of the questions that are being asked. If you are a Philly Pre-K program, the system will automatically answer that question for you. So click Next. On the next page, you're going to want to confirm that the address is correct and the MPI number is correct. Click Next. If you have a program accreditation, you will want to select that from this list and then click on Add. Click Next. On the program capacity page, you're going to enter in the number of classrooms, the number of children enrolled, and the time frame of when your facility is open. Click on Next. and then confirm the information on this page. And then also select your communication preferences and submit. The processing of an organization profile takes 4 to 6 days, and you will be notified via email of the status.
Thank you, Maggie. Next slide, please. Accepting staff employment request. You can play the video, please.
This is how to accept a staff invitation for your employment within the PD registry. This will happen when a director or someone with admin privileges sends you an invitation for employment. And this can happen one of 2 ways. First, we can log in to our PD registry account. And if you have a pending employment confirmation, you will see this message appear. We can choose to view it. You will see the details of your employment invitation. You will see I have my position listed as well as the start date. I can enter hours per week and months per year, as well as my wage information, and the age of the children I serve, and then confirm my employment. Now, this employment will be listed under my employment tab in my personal PD registry account, and you will see it listed here. The other option to accept an employment invitation is to check your email. You will see an email that looks like this, and we can view the invitation and follow the steps that we just covered. And that's how you accept an employment invitation in the PD registry.
Any questions? I think I did see one question in that the profile was set up. However, the information's incorrect. At any time, since this is your professional profile, you're able to at any time edit it. If you're having a difficult time editing it, what I would suggest to you is to contact your quality coach, and then we can hopefully assist you through the PD registry in contacting them. Sometimes if you're in the midst of updating something, I would just suggest to please reach out for help with that. Any other questions? I'm going to introduce, next will be Dana Slipia. She's going to start talking on staff reports.
Thank you, Teresa. Hi, everyone. I'm Dana Slippian, and I'll be talking about how to pull and read the reports to see the information my colleagues have just talked about. Next slide, please. Thank you. So there's some reports available to you as the administrator of your program's organizational profile. So you can access the staff verified event hours by CKA report. This report tells you the trainings your staff has taken in the core knowledge areas, their C1, C2, C3 levels. The staff professional development plan report. This report will show the status of your staff PD plans. As Rachel had mentioned, the staff have to complete or update their PD plans within or each year. So it'll give you a good look at your staff progress. The staff self-assessment report. Not to be confused with the PD plan is the staff self-assessments, which again, as Rachel pointed out, have to be updated or completed each year. And this report will help you see what type of PD to plan for based on those staff self-assessments. The staff report. This is one of the main reports we as quality coaches will pull for your STAR 2 and above verifications. It'll have a lot of the same information that you can find on the staff qualifications grid, also known as the staff grid, that your quality coach sends to you every year to renew or designate. And it can be a quick reference for you to get a good overview of your staff qualifications, such as their career pathway level, which, as Andrea and Lauren have both discussed, if they've applied for it, and what level they have been verified at. The staff detailed training report is another one of those main reports your quality coach will look at for STAR 3 and 4 programs. It'll have the same information you can find on the professional development tracking grid, also known as the PD staff grid, that goes along with the staff grid for your STAR 3 and 4 renewal or designation. Not so much a quick reference. This report will have a lot more detailed information about the trainings your staff has taken. And I'm going to show you actually how to filter this report so you can see the trainings your staff have taken in the past 3 years as per the STAR standards SQ 3.4.3 to SQ 3.4.9. So now I'd like to share my screen if I could. Thank you, thank you. Here we go. Okay, so the staff report. Keep in mind, I did have to block out some information and kind of shorten the screen, so for confidentiality purposes. So this is what the screen will look like after you've logged into your organizational profile. You can check the tabs here and you'll click on reports. And then here is a list of the 5 reports that we just discussed. You will see let's start with the staff report. I'm gonna move myself over. Here we go. So the staff report. Once you click on this to generate the staff report, first thing to note is that it does pull from the year. So it is an annual report. Definitely important to note that. Also, here is where you can save your reports. You can save it as a Word doc, as a PDF, as an Excel, as a PowerPoint, a bunch of other options you could save it as. Again, there's some blacked out information for confidentiality purposes, but here you can see the PD registry ID number, the staff name, the staff position, which should be the role that kind of coincides with your career pathway level, something to note that we do look at. It also tells you the last time the staff member have completed their PD plan, the self-assessment plan, and what their career pathway level is, if they have applied, not yet applied, and if it has been verified or not. Keep in mind those 3 things, the PD plan, staff assessment, and the career pathway, have to be done each year. So every year your staff have to go in and make sure that that information is updated. And then this report also tells you when your staff have completed STARS 101 and 102. If they haven't completed it, you need to make sure it's done within the first 90 days of a new hire if they don't already have it on their PD registry profile. I think that pretty much covers the PD, the staff report. Oh, something to note. So the career pathway level, if it says not applied here, but your staff member saying, I applied, a lot of this has to do with making sure you can submit the application button or check that box, not just simply uploading your documents. You have to actually go through the process of applying and renewing for the career pathway. So that's just something we've noticed as quality coaches, is that, you know, the staff member will say, no, I have all my documents in there. You might have it in there, but you need to actually go through the application process. Okay. So just a couple things to keep in mind that we look at. All right, so the next report we're going to look at is the staff detailed training report. The staff detailed training report you will use to see your staff trainings completed within the past 3 years to ensure they meet the PD requirements for STAR standards SQ 3.4.3 to SQ 3.4.9. So what I like to do first and foremost when we pull up the staff detailed training report is change the date. So it'll automatically pull for the year. We want to change it for every 3 years. So we want to see what's been done the past 3 years. Change the date for the 3 years and then make sure you click view report so that it refreshes the report. Again, you can save it as anything you like. And then you'll notice here that this is what the staff detailed training report will kind of look like. Each light blue line will be a staff member. Underneath will list their credentials, the Keystone STARS required trainings, and then any other PD they've taken within the past 3 years. So again, not a quick reference guide, but definitely helpful when you need to know which trainings your staff have completed to meet those standards. That is pretty much all I've got here. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and just let you know that if you see something on your reports that you do not think is right or have questions about, please contact your quality coach and we'll help either walk you through it or point you in the right direction. And okay, Maggie, yeah, I think next is slides for questions. I do see just this in the comments here. The last report showed it had expired. There was something on that staff member that had expired, so everything on that line will show up red. That doesn't necessarily mean that stars 101 and 102 have expired. I believe what was coming up was their career pathway level was the one that had expired. So everything will come up red on that tab if there's one thing that has expired on there, just so you're aware. But no, the stars 101 and 102 do not expire.
And just to kind of go more in depth on that, so, and to answer Brianna's question regarding stars 101 and 102, those trainings are basically like an introductory session into the Keystone Stars program, but also into the importance of continuous quality improvement. So at this point, they are required by all staff at a star 2, 3, and 4 level.
Lauren, you're muted.
Sorry, thank you. Maggie is asking, is there something we can do to document that an employee may be out on leave? This has been reason in the past that trainings or their certificate may not be up to date. I'm not aware of anything. Teresa or Maggie, do you know if there's a way to document that?
I was going to say that's a very good point because sometimes
It is a great question, Maggie. As of right now, I do not know of anything. That's something we can take back to the PA key when they do an update to see if that is something they can add in.
When we are designating Maggie and Lauren, if there is an employee that there has been questions, we've been in contact with the PA key to verify whether or not, you know, if there is something, and we would action plan if it is one particular staff. And that would be something that we would take into consideration. But once again, it's something we would have to sit with administration. What we do not want to do is to not to do a renewal or a designation with something, but more importantly, to work with you and to work with your staff. The nice thing is when you're trying to do this as just an individual, it's important that each of the staff people that you have, that they take the time to do and take responsibility for their plan. So that the whole organization has an opportunity to succeed. Because, and then if you have your leadership team. And Dana, I thank you for saying how important it is for them to identify the role that their staff is playing based on their credentials. So thank you.
Anything I can do to help, Teresa.
Okay, does anyone have any other questions? Okay, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. The last slide here is the general email account to our office in case anyone has questions and is unfamiliar with who their quality coach is. I hope you've enjoyed our presentation and you've gotten some knowledge. If you do have any other questions, please email your quality coach or you can email me. I'll put my email in the chat box as well. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.